So today I'm here at the San Bernard National Wildlife Refuge, and we're gonna do the auto tour. And right now I'm sitting about right here, and we're gonna drive down here to the south, check out some of these little side trails and wetlands areas, and just basically explore this whole area and see what we come across. I've heard really good things about this place, and hopefully at the end of the day we'll head up here to the San Bernard Oak Trail. Never been here before. This will be a day of exploration. Our first stop here is at the Bobcat Woods Trail. Looks very inviting when you arrive in the parking lot. One thing that's very interesting about the San Bernard National Wildlife Refuge, this is basically where the mainland of Texas meets the coastal marsh areas. And so this is a region of transitions and a very rich ecologic area. Very nice. Beautiful through here with the Spanish moss over the trail. Watch out for spider webs. Looks like a little viewing area just ahead. So this area is experiencing drought like much of Texas right now, so the wetlands may be fairly dried out at the moment. This is a magical walk around the Bobcat Nature Trail. Strongly recommend doing this hike. You really got to watch out for these spiders. Lots of them along this trail. I can imagine that during wetter times this place is incredible. I see a huge buck just ahead. Big antlers. This area is a mix of coastal marsh, prairie, and forest. So this viewing platform gives you a view of some of the marshier areas within this refuge. Some nice wetlands here. Just like great shot. All right, back into the woods again on the Bobcat Trail. Group of wild hogs just came out from the bushes right there. Maybe next time I'll come out here in a rainier season, check out these wetlands. I'm sure they're beautiful much of the time. Next up, the scissor-tailed trail. It's only a half mile. Should be a fairly quick little hike. So, you know, when should you come out here? I'm sure that you see something different throughout the various seasons, but for the most pleasant experience, I would think if you came out here on a mild, sunny day in, say, late November, early December, that would be one of the better times to be out here. Perhaps then you won't have as many flies, mosquitoes. General rule of thumb, if it's at least 60 to 65 degrees and a bright sunshiny day, you've got a great chance of seeing lots of gators. So I've hiked hundreds of trails in all different ecologic zones in my life, and this is the most spiders I've ever seen on a trail in my life. Constantly ducking for spider webs along this trail. The only reason I'm recording right now is this is a stretch that has relatively few. But when you get into more forested areas, wow, it's like every 10 or 15 feet another spider web. Insane. So at the southern terminus of the main road that goes along the western boundary of the park is the Cedar Lake Creek public fishing area. So you can see here's a slough. Yeah, there is a small boat ramp right here. Looks like you could have this all to yourself. And so there is a trail that goes right along the creek if you just want to fish along the bank. See, it takes you up to another potential access point right here. And it continues on down. So now we've driven deep into the interior of this refuge, and the water levels continue to be very low throughout this area. I'm wondering if the water here is a little bit brackish. It does appear that there may be some salt residue in this slough right here. Oh yeah, salt marshes. That's what the sign says. So, all right. We really need some rain out here. So this is called the Cow Trap Marsh Trail. It just looks endless out there. Look at this amazing tree sitting way out here all by itself. It's at least a mile away from the next nearest tree, and I'm sure it's a valuable resting spot for birds out here. Wild hog. And a resting spot for wild hogs. He was not happy that I woke him up from his afternoon nap, let me tell you. Beautiful birds. One of the features that's very interesting to me here at this refuge is when you gain just a little bit of elevation, get out of that salt marsh, you'll start to see forest like just ahead, and big beautiful live oak trees. So tucked away in this forest, this is a brazoria palm, one of 3 members of the palm tree family native to Texas. You got the Texas sable minor, which is really just like a palm bush. The Brazoria palm right here is kind of a small to medium-sized tree. And then you have the Texas sable palm that grows in abundance down along the Rio Grande Valley near Brownsville. Beautiful. Many of these live oak trees look like giants in the forest compared to the other trees around them, clearly outsizing anything else here. Looks like another example of a Brazoria palm. Beautiful specimen. Another beast of a tree just ahead. What a beauty. So I heard online that this boardwalk was in bad shape and in need of repair, though so far I'm walking across it just fine. I mean, the wood is a little old, but it doesn't seem that bad. When you get to this boardwalk, you know you're very close to your destination. I've seen worse, put it that way. And there it is, the San Bernard oak emerging through the forest. The view of it is partially obstructed by the other trees, but from here I can tell it is massive. Look at the size of that limb that sticks out to the right. Huge. I mean, look at the width of that trunk at the bottom. Incredible. Here's one last shot with an 11-year-old for scale. Just go for it. There you go. So just some closing comments on this park. I do recommend coming in the early spring or late fall on a nice, clear, sunny day to maximize wildlife viewing potential and also your enjoyment. There are a lot of spiders here. A lot. More than I've ever seen anywhere. Just keep that in mind. This place is impressive though. Don't let that keep you from coming here. Lots to see and enjoy in this wildlife refuge. Another thing to keep in mind, there are a lot of mosquitoes here as well. Be sure to bring mosquito spray. Probably wear long pants, long sleeve shirt, and anything to protect your skin from the onslaught. I'm sure there are times when the mosquitoes are worse than others, but today the mosquitoes were pretty bad. So there are areas where you get more of a breeze and you don't notice the mosquitoes at all. Just depends on where you are. But once you enter the woods and the air is rather stagnant, yeah, if you stop for a few seconds, the mosquitoes will swarm you. Without a doubt, this is an interesting ecologic zone in Texas, transitioning from the mainland to the coast. You see that change in vegetation across this area. I always find that really interesting.